Greetings, everyone. Corey here. Excuse my lack of content lately. Been a little sick, and real life and holidays have just been really getting to me. So, been a little slow. Might be like that for a little while, but I did want to make this video about seeing the Star Wars saga pretty much come to an end. At least this storyline of the Skywalkers. So, with that, here's my review of Star Wars Rise of the Skywalkers, which Rise of the Skywalker, not no S, but yeah. So I gotta say up front, it is a good movie. It's worth your dollar to check it out, especially if you've watched them all up until now. It's a good movie, but I am also gonna say spoilers because I this movie's gonna do fine, no matter what I say. But I do want to talk about spoilers just as far as what's gone on through the whole saga from the 70s to now to just everything. And right now, of course, on Rotten Tomatoes, critic reviews about 58%, and audience reviews about 86, which seems about right. I will say, yeah, it's probably about, I would rate it in that range for sure. Uh, I'm not a professional critic, of course, I'm just a fan that just wants to, throw my opinion out there like all the others. So, with that said, Rise of Skywalker was good. Uh, it's definitely not a horrible movie. Granted, really, all the Star Wars movies have been really, have been really good to good. Of course, everybody puts Empire as the top one, which I do too. But honestly, I liked, I have a lot of different opinion as far as the last episode 8, The Last Jedi, which I actually liked a lot. I liked what they did. I liked the changes that they did. I liked the what they did with it. Granted, of course, yeah, I do admit the casino side story quest was a little dumb, a little not needed. Easily could have been cut out or changed or just for the better. But the thing I find that's most wrong about Rise of Skywalker is it's quick, man. It is like, The Force Awakens had its good pacing. The Last Jedi even had its good pacing, even though it picks up right after, The Force Awakens. And it didn't feel rushed, which this movie feels rushed. For sure. Like, it's just trying to hit those notes just to, hit those notes, which worked half the time, I would say. The other half, it's just like, yeah, feels like we're going a little fast. There's really not too many, slow moments where you kind of catch your breath, just take in the environment, appreciate, the costume designs of the creatures, creations, and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a quick movie. There's a few things which I gotta say, like spoilers. It feels like this movie has no consequences at all. Nobody, you know, the main person, of course, dying is Princess Leia, which yeah, we kind of saw coming. I mean, that's the original three. Uh, Luke, Leia, and Han dying, which yeah, I mean that makes sense because Han dies in the Force Awakens, Luke dies in the Last Jedi, and now Leia dies in Rise of Skywalker. So that's interesting to say the least what they did with that, but not needed. But for the scene that it does happen where she does pass, it was actually a pretty good scene. I did like that. The thing I didn't really like is, it happens during the Rey Kylo fight on the old Death Star, Endo, and it is uh, a fight with no words, which you would think at that point they would be trying to, fight and talk and, like kind of like the fight like on the Force Awakens in the forest. They were, bantering a little bit and talking and stuff, and it's just a quiet scene until, the final conclusion of that fight. So it's just a missed opportunity, to say the least. uh, I think it kind of bugged me a little, but overall, it's still a good scene. The whole Ray, of course, just they're retconning pretty much the Last Jedi, which is okay, but honestly, I think they kind of chose the easy way out on it, and the path that they chose was kind of like it just wasn't. I don't know. Like this, just a lot of things I would have changed. Uh, I think because I liked the Last Jedi and how they changed things. I mean, it just felt like this movie was really just retconning that movie and just giving us the same old stuff, which they kind of do because uh, Rey doesn't forge her own lightsaber in the end. She's reusing other people's lightsabers. Granted, it's the introduction of someone else's lightsaber, which is pretty cool. I do like that. Granted, I did have an idea of how that could come into play, but it didn't quite come to play the correct way. The whole thing with Kylo Ren happening in Rey was uh, a little forced at the end. The very end, the last scene that they have is just uh, like I said, there's like almost no consequences for the good guys in this movie. Besides Leia, no other good guy dies from the main crew. Uh, it's just like I don't know, like it's too happy of an ending in a way uh, for something that shouldn't be as happy of an ending. I don't know, but yeah. So uh, what else can I say? The music is really cool. Scenery, the callbacks, of course, are pretty cool. They call back to the X-Wings Luke, his old call signature, which is pretty cool. The whole Emperor, Palpatine situation is pretty interesting to see them kind of draw a lot of influence from the Legacy series of Star Wars because they hadn't really drawn too much. I mean, that stuff is all it's not supposed to be canon anymore. The book series and the comics and everything until they actually bring it into the movies and the new comics now to make it canon. So it's cool to see this, dark science, dark magic kind of stuff. Dark side of the force being shown off more, which it's kind of where they left it. Yeah, it's like it's an end of a saga. So hopefully they don't try to continue from this point because it's gonna be awkward. I gotta say, the way they left it. So yeah, there's that. The whole situation. With Kylo Ren, you know, the whole thing with Kylo and Ray. Honestly, I wish it would have turned out better than what it did. I just felt like there was just better situations that they could have went with. Granted, like I said, I think they just literally just played it by the numbers and just give the people what they want. They don't want after the backlash from Last Jedi. Even though I like the Last Jedi, people people don't like change that much in the series that's 40 plus years old now. So it sucks because uh, we don't get to evolve the story past what we've already seen. So there's that. But overall, it's a good movie. It's just there's a lot of scenes. There was even a people next to her. It's like right at the end. One of the last scenes you have. It's just uh, like they did it. It's it's still stupid. They did it, and they did it. Why did they do it? I don't know why they did it. Well, I mean, I know why they did it, but it's such a stupid move to do it, and it's probably the worst offender in this movie of just trying to give them the happy ending and give the fans what they want, which I think they misread it a little bit. But overall, I think it could have been. There's just a lot of miss executions that they could have done a lot better, I think, and there's just a lot of stuff that they could have done better. I think there was maybe a little too much C-3PO in this movie, uh, which yeah, even C-3PO. I mean, there's no consequence for him. Uh, for what they have to do, where they have to draw out some, data from him, and it's supposed to wipe his personality and reset him back to zero. But hey, look at that! He gets backed up like literally 10 minutes later. Uh, he pretty much goes back to his old ways. So it's just like I said. There's no consequences. This was a big scene with Ray, and she's feeling grief about it, and then it's like 3 minutes later, it's like, oh, well, the audience knows. It's like, okay, that just wipes the slate clean now. It's like, what's the point of that? So there's just nothing, man. There's just no consequences to their actions, and it all just works out. It's just too happy of an ending, I think. And yeah, okay, Return of the Jedi had those little furry mini Chewbacca's running around and being cute, literally saving the day for uh, the the rebels. But even in Return of the Sith, I mean, we had that crazy fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, which yeah, I mean like that was a good ending because it's like yeah, we know what's gonna happen and what has to happen, but it doesn't mean we have to have it. It's not a happy ending. Uh, and I just feel like we should have had something a little bit more neutral, at least. Something that shows it's like, yeah, we sacrificed a lot just to, make things balanced, and it didn't quite feel like that. It's just too happy of an ending. So that's just my 2 cents. I hope I didn't spoil too much if anyone hasn't seen the movie yet, but yeah, it's a good movie. I can't say it's not, and I just could say that there's a lot of stuff I nitpick about it that will change. I'm sure a lot of people kind of feel the same way. At least from the people in my audience, they seem like there's a few things they should not have executed in the way that they did. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, it looks like just like everything on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, the critics will always usually be lower rating than the audience score. So we'll see what happens. But it's a Star Wars movie. It's the last one. It's a Disney movie, so of course it's gonna make money. So, till next one, guys. Later.